Congratulations on that.
Good job.
Morning, Larry. Getting some farming done down your way, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, is that yours?
Yeah.
Bob's back.
Yeah, he does. I gave it. I could use it. Morning, Marty.
Everybody remember they can sleep in this morning?
What did we remember?
That you can sleep in this morning.
Then I got a little more done at home. I must have said.
No, I don't remember. Oh, you really can't. Yeah, no, can't do it forever.
I think age has something to do that. The older you get, the less you do it. Unless you're inclined to do it. Unless you have a reason to do it.
So there's still exclusive. Exclusive men only. When it's in if it's exclusive women only, nobody seems to object. So what's up with that? Yeah.
Both ways. You say it's for men only. You say it's for women only. You say, okay. You know, that's right. So I've been thinking of joining the seroptimists just to make an issue of it. Well, how can you have an high of men's only? Have you women who want to force the issue of doing it?
Hey, Gary,
So how can you have a woman
if you joined, I'd join too. Just
Actually, I got a couple potential sponsors that are sponsor. I just don't think it's very fair. If I had men's only club, there'd be women who say it wasn't very disappointed. So how can there be a woman's? Thank you, sir. I don't think that's right.
Good morning.
Good.
What are you going to speak on? School. Huh? Post or report? That's all mine, but I might not stick around. Well, I'm going to say my
He doesn't want other men. He just
Jean says she'll join with me.
yeah.
I join.
I've heard of them. I'm like these guys. I think
Morning.
Did I get you?
No, we're all good.
You know, I'm liking it even more than I thought.
Yeah. Hi, Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
I haven't gotten the second one yet.
Hi.
But the first of the month, all the money's
You working for Sam today?
No, I'm covering supervisor now. No, I'm covering supervisor now.
Yeah, I was just all the stuff.
I'll have something for you, and I hope the paper can publish
What is it?
The last year I saw three.
well, you'll see. I'm going to make a presentation to
Okay.
the supervisors. I have it written.
The clock was really fast. I thought I was going to be late. Right on time.
Good morning, Lacey. How are you? I'm great. How are you? I'm good. Awesome. I didn't tell you. Just glad you know. It's the manager right here. And what happens is I do something and then it's everything.
Well, they don't pay taxes, and they have to bring them up for collections, they just want the fees.
Control.
Yeah.
So I looked at the when I paid it, it was $157. So this would be good.
Oh, these fees, yeah. At least, did they make you approve school for it?
See, that's another interesting vehicle has an African number. Yeah. You can't go to traffic school. No matter what.
Oh, right. You know, we don't throw the knee wide after the final. We have to pay for the school.
Yeah, pay more.
We have to pay for the school, but it saves you points or whatever, and then you have to, yeah, I gotta see. I wouldn't try to lost a car for speed. You know, so if I do know
Even if you're Corvette.
or your old, whatever, your pickup truck. So you gotta see,
And Rick called me yesterday, but he says it was something.
We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 9:30. And if, by the way, for those who are very particular on agendas, Lexi did a very nice job, but we've got 9:30 call to order, and then we've got 9:35 opening ceremony. If the audience doesn't mind, instead of sitting here for 5 minutes of silence, we will go ahead and conduct the opening ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation and get right into our B item. So if you'd all rise, please, and join Supervisor Chapman in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we pray this day in your and ask your ever-enduring guidance, that you cloak us in wisdom and fortitude, that we may disperse our knowledge and facts intelligently among all humanity of whom we serve. Amen. Obviously, there was not a closed session this morning, so we're going to move right into item B1, which would be agenda approval, additions, and or deletions. Staff?
No changes.
Okay, we have one request for a speaker prior to taking action on B1, and that would be Eileen Spencer. Eileen, you wanted to speak to the board on B1 prior to our taking action on the agenda?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
First, I have a question about the agenda on D6. You have a meeting schedule on 9/3. Is that correct, or should it be 9/10 for the budget hearing? Is that
Yes,
correct?
that'd be a special meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to check because it hasn't changed on your website.
Thank you.
Sorry. Put your fingers strong. Okay, we're here again to ask for an agenda item to be added to the agenda today. At this point, we request that if it isn't put on today, even later this afternoon when nobody's here and nobody can hear it, maybe next week at the week after. I realize that the public has no rights other than to politely request an agenda item be added. It's up to Mr. Nichols and the 5 of you to decide what goes on the agenda, but we do have the right to ask for it. I'd just like to read what I have just given to you. Dear Chairperson Hanson, can we help request this board add an agenda item to discuss the status of board salaries? On June 25th, 2013, Mr. Nichols placed ordinance 532C on the agenda, claiming that it was cost neutral. It was not. At no time did Mr. Nichols, Supervisor Chapman, Kyle, or yourself disclose you were receiving a salary that exceeded the proposed new increase. For that reason, we ask it to be put back on the agenda so the public can, all of this information that you failed to disclose can be disclosed. Mr. Nichols also stated that this new increase would take effect 60 days from June 25th, 2013. Through public records, we found that adjustments to your salaries happened on July 17th. The public had a right to full disclosure on the amendment. An incentive to placing this on today's agenda is that people trusted you. And we are prepared, if you put it on the agenda, we are prepared today to have a presentation on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else wishing to discuss anything under item B1, which is agenda approval and additions and or deletions? Yes, Iona, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair Hanson. I received my ballot here the other day, and I'm wondering if there's a typographical error in it. Did you get your?
Yes.
Right. It's about the statements of grounds for the proposed recall of Jack Hanson.
We had a question. Does this have to do with the agenda?
No.
Oh, okay, then we're not in public comment yet. We're still on the agenda. That's all right. I will get you in a minute. Thank you, Bob. All right. Is there anybody else wishing to speak on the agenda prior to approving our agenda? No changes. Chair to entertain a motion.
We got a motion.
Okay, I apologize. It's been moved and seconded then to approve the agenda as published. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Now we'll carry on to the item B2, which is public comment. I'm going to catch Iona first, but first, of course, I have to make a statement, a couple of quick statements. This item is placed on our agenda to offer those in the audience an opportunity to address the board on items which do not necessarily appear in today's agenda, but do fall under the jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. Obviously, we can't engage in any debate under this item, nor can we necessarily take any action at this time. We can, at the wish of the board or staff, go ahead and place an item on the agenda for future discussions. So, reserve the right to have a 3-minute time limit. We'll see how things go. If we're able to make it work, we don't worry about the time limit. So, Iona, we'd like to entertain your comments first under public comment, please. Thank you.
Good morning.
Sorry about that.
I made a mistake, so I apologize for that. My name is Iona McCain. I got this voter ballot in the mail.
Correct.
And I'm wondering if there's a mistake here on it.
I didn't notice it, but that's a mistake.
Can I, maybe I just don't read it right, but it's your statement of grounds and the answer to the statement of grounds.
Yes.
Which would be your reply.
That's correct.
It says on the first one, it says, your vote allowing taxpayers money in excess of $800,000 to be wastefully spent. That is the question. That's the statement. Your statement is true. I support expending funds to facilitate future growth and to conserve assets. But the statement is, your vote allowing taxpayers money in excess of $800,000 to be wastefully spent. That's the statement. That's true. That's your statement. But should it not be false?
Well, I don't believe it was wastefully spent, but
I just think that there's it might be just,
we'll just have to let it go
it's
for
something
now.
that,
It's out
when I
there.
looked at it, I said, I just gotta bring it to your attention.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ann. I've got a couple of requests under our item B2, and Eileen Spencer, we'll go ahead and start with you. Your request was here on my desk first, so if you'd like to speak under B2, public comments.
Okay, I have two issues under public comment.
I don't know how many's there. This is all given to me, so I don't know how many's there.
As we informed the board last week that we intended to file a Brown Act, it turns out that now there's two Brown Acts complaints we're filing against this board. The first one is violation of 54957.6. Dear Chairperson Hanson, in 2013, this public board has placed the evaluation of Martin Nichols on the agenda 7 times, and we list the dates. At the March 19th, 2013 meeting, you announced that you had taken action at the March 12th, 2013 meeting to give Mr. Nichols a $10,000 raise. So I think starting April 1st. And we listened to the March 12th disc, the audio that I bought at the county clerk's office, and there's nothing at the end that reports this action. In fact, the minutes that you approved only report that you gave Mr. Nichols a good evaluation. That's in the minutes for March 12th. The subsequent evaluations appear to be an excess of evaluations without any report of any action for or against Mr. Nichols. The Brown Act, section 54959, states that it is a misdemeanor to withhold actions in closed sessions from the public. All meetings from March 19th to August 13th appear to be discussions on issues other than evaluations. Of course, none of you will admit that, but the excess of evaluations are suspect. Can we help but like to remind this board that the Brown Act outlines clearly what you can discuss in closed sessions. So you really don't have to play this game. You can make up stuff that's in the list of the Brown Act and put that on the list. I mean, it's just as much of a lie as all of these 7 evaluations. In the past, you have abused the Brown Act repeatedly by placing non-compliant closed session items on your agenda. And of course, if we file a complaint, we have to offer a remedy. Make an honest effort to place legitimate issues on your agenda and comply with accurate and true reporting to the public. The Brown Act allows for any interested person to take action on continued abuses of the Brown Act. What we did, or somebody did, we transcribed the Mr. Nichols and your statements. I don't know, did you get a copy of this? Was it on the, I don't know, I'm just getting this stuff. But it clearly states, the March 19th audio tape, that you did in fact violate the Brown Act. It says, Mr. Hanson, and don't trust this because I didn't do it, but you can listen to the audio. Mr. Hanson, we move on to B1. Announcement of items discussed in closed session, and this will also include items discussed in our last closed session, which was following our meeting last week. Mr. Nichols. Mr. Nichols then speaks. Members, we held a closed session on significant exposure to litigation, a couple of potential cases where the county board provided direction to staff, and there were no reportable actions. Following last week's closed session regarding my evaluation, we concluded the meeting about 5:10, at which time the board announced, and there's dots, so I guess it's unintelligible, but they couldn't do that, that they rated my performance as excellent, agreed to extend my contract, and to give me a raise. The implementation of these items are on today's agenda. That's right from your tape, so it does show that you didn't disclose Mr. Nichols' $10,000 raise. It's just me, because I go to the meetings. It's just that you put all of these things at the end of the day. It wasn't a coincidence that you couldn't do this in closed session that morning. It had 7 of them. So to put it at the end of the day, and I think you said you concluded at 5:10, nobody's going to hang around here, and you know it, that for 3 hours waiting for you to come out of closed session. You have no idea how long, 10 minutes or 5 hours. And I think just from an ethical, a moral point of view, maybe you shouldn't do this anymore, because we all know you're doing it, and it just makes it look sleazy. I don't know. The second Brown Act violation. This is Brown Act complaint 54957.1, parentheses A5, failure to report action in closed session. It has come to the attention of Can We Help the Lassen County Board of Supervisors violated Brown Act section 54957.1, parentheses A5, when it failed to announce the action it took in closed session that affected a public employee at the March 12, 2013 regular meeting. The action taken in regards to Martin Nichols' evaluation and increase in pay was reported at the March 19, 2013 regular meeting. This section states, action taken to appoint, employ, dismiss, accept the resignation, or otherwise affect the employment status of a public employee in closed session pursuant to section 549757, employees evaluation, shall report it at the public meeting during which closed session is held. So even though you didn't put that in the minutes, you did act on that. On March 12th, during those 3 hours in the afternoon, you, according to Mr. Nichols, according to you, Jack, according to the minutes, you gave him a $10,000 raise at the March 12th meeting. And it was reported a week later the way you did it. You guys are honest, good guys. I mean, you don't need to do sleazy things like this. It just seems like I'm asking you, Can We Help is asking you, and all of our members asking you to think about trying to hide things from us, think about trying to put things out front and open. It doesn't hurt you, and I think it's probably a good thing if you don't do that anymore. The minutes from March 12th and March 19th audio of both public meetings indicate and confirm the board violated Brown Act section 54957. Mr. Nichols' employee evaluation was intentionally placed at the last item of the agenda for March 12th. The supervisors did not report that Mr. Nichols was given a $10,000 raise and a 1-year extension on his contract. Further, a letter dated March 11th was never noticed. This should have been on March 12th, so we could have clicked on it and we could have printed it. It wasn't. You even hid that. And if any, we'll post all this on our website.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on then to those who have requested to speak under public comment period. I have Mr. Jim, or Dr. James Hodge. Jim?
Yeah.
You said public comment. I didn't know if you were going to stay for the swimming pool as well, but...
Yeah, I cannot stay for the swimming pool.
Oh, okay.
So I want to make a brief comment about that. And I will want to, I just think it's long overdue. We lost a family here a while back that was a professional family, and the last straw for them was having to go to Reno for swimming lessons. I mean, like that was it. And they left our community. And I think the CEO of the hospital lives next door to me. He tells me how hard it is to get physicians up here. And, you know, a lot of people just go through the checklist. Does it have this? Does it have this? Does it have this? And I really think that we need to have a swimming pool. And number two is I think it needs to be a functional swimming pool. And I'm thinking, there's people who know more about swimming pools than I do, but it needs to be L-shaped so that you could have, let's say, a swim team over here or people swimming laps, and over here you can have physical therapy or water aerobics for older people. And this should not be just thinking in terms of kids. I've spent a lot of time in physical therapy in the last 6 years, and you know all the physicians are telling you to swim, swim, swim. Well, there's no place to swim. So it's important for everyone. Another item is that you know Sheriff Grogan's going to be irregularly harassing for more money, and I just think there needs to be a way to talk back to the state sometimes. When they pass these laws like AB 109 that just has a lot of unintended consequences for certain of us, you know, in the state, that maybe we should be asking in some way, shape, or form for some kind of an exemption, or that we need additional money. You know, they may not need that in downtown San Francisco or in LA, but I think that the cost that we're going to see related to that, related to our county jail, with increased costs of training of staff, increased staffing, and in particular medical costs, are just going to practically bankrupt this county. We've got to do something about it, and it's got to be sooner than later. And then my last, just as a quick question is, do we have a current capital improvement plan in place? And if so, where is that accessible?
Been working on it for a while. And Marty,
Mr. Millar apparently has sent me a copy of it. I have not looked at it. It's apparently my email. So
but that would
yes,
not
yes,
necessarily be an updated one, though. I mean, I think that's
Well,
we
we
have a current one.
I don't know.
We do have a current.
Yeah, we do have a current one.
Larry Millar would
I'd
have.
be happy to get it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jim, for coming today. Next, a request from Mr. Don Armitrott to speak under public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Don Armentrout, Chairman of the Lassen County Fish and Game Commission. First, I want to thank Supervisor Alba and Supervisor Chapman for their help on getting members to the commission. We now have 10 regular members. We're still in need of 5 alternates, but it's kind of nice to sit there last Thursday and not have to count to see if we had a quorum. Secondly, due to the hard work of Paul Chappelle, the Modoc Fish and Game Commission, and many others, 2014 white goose season will be a late season this year and extended later. The early season will run from November 1st to January 12th, and the late season for white geese would be February 7th to March 10th. So this should help some with the farmers in the area not feeding white